Hey folks, I'm Sean C. Davis, and I have been anticipating recording this video for a few weeks because I want to share for the first time with you this new project that I've been working on that I'm really excited about. I am learning a ton in the process, and I think that I'm onto something. I think it's fascinating. If it goes away, it's because it takes some other form that is more productive. But I want to share this with you today. And my working title for this application is called Studio 29. And in the coming months, I'm going to absolutely make this available to anybody who wants it. And I want to hear from you in the comments or just send me a message wherever you can find me and tell me you want some access to this, and we'll figure out how to make it happen and how to collaborate on this project that is Studio 29. Now, recently, I have published a video on a new set of skills around preflight and autofocus. And those have worked really, really well within the Claude Code CLI. And the idea with them is that I am still in the loop as a human, but I am in the loop only the minimum amount of time that I feel like I need to be able to be effective. There have been times before I had really gotten too deep into these workflows, where I just felt like I'm constantly approving permissions over and over and over again. And I don't need to be here. I don't need to check those things. In fact, they're almost doing more harm than they are doing good because they're so noisy. So many of those permission gates are so noisy that eventually I get to the point where I'm just hitting yes every time, and it's hard to distinguish where in that risk spectrum does this thing fall that triggered the gate. I don't know. There's no way for me really to know that. So those skills are working really well, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. And honestly, I feel like the UI is pretty limiting. I find myself looking at the screen and seeing several different terminals opened up, and I'm constantly moving things around, and I'm opening up VS Code, and then I'm opening up a terminal session, and then I'm opening up a Claude Code session, and I'm just all over the place based on what I need to do, even though what I need to do can be in the context of one specific repository or one specific directory. And so I had this idea that I ought to be able to build my own harness that taps into these workflows and basically uses the combination of the preflight and autopilot skills as the foundation, and then starts to build out an interface where all of this just sort of works together and works together in a way that serves me and that may or may not serve other folks as well. And it's taken a lot of iterations, and I still have a long way to go, but this is an early look. And eventually, like I said, I will make this available. But I just wanted to give you a quick little tour of this thing. And I've got something running now, but here's the idea. The idea is that we have what I call workspaces. And all a workspace really is a path to a directory on this project. Now, at some point in the future, I am going to introduce the concept of remote workspaces so that I can put code and I can actually have agents running on different machines, but pull them all into this particular application. For now, everything's just running on this machine, which means that basically this application is really just a window. It's a window with some logic on top of it that taps into things that are running locally on the machine. And there is a lot of logic in it to make it all possible, but it's just harnessing the Claude and Codex subscriptions that I already have. And so it is inherently equipped with preflight and autopilot. They're just kind of like, they're foundational to the thing. So what I had done up here was I told it to update main, and then I was like, all right, I have some ideas on what I want to build. And it immediately goes into this preflight mode and starts asking me, so here's a question. Here's the other thing I really like about this. Because we've got this UI, I have the freedom and flexibility to have the responses from tool calls become a UI element with basically unlimited control, so to speak, in terms of what we actually display from a visual standpoint. And so this is very, very early days MVP. And there's a long way to go to actually make this feel much better. But the reality is there's already a lot of structure in here that feels really good, and it feels a lot easier to read and get through than with the Claude Code CLI. And we lose a little bit because there's some stuff that the Claude Code CLI is doing that that we have to essentially recreate by building this sort of thing. And so we lose a little bit, but we gain a lot of control in the process. So it's taking me longer to hone in than I would really like, but the control is undeniably great. It really is. And so then we get to these, I'm still working on trying to fine tune what those permission gates really look like, but it tells me when it's ready to pass off to autopilot. I've got this panel over here that is showing me what all these subagents are actually doing. It's really intense. It's really cool. As it makes changes, this actually doesn't seem to be working. And then there's a bug here, but the idea is that there's a chat window over here where I can have side conversations while we're working on this main thread. Again, early days, but really cool. And one of the biggest things I'm excited about is, so one, we get a very quick view of the statuses of any of the agents that we bring in here. And so we know what needs us at any given point. I'm just doing a lot of weird stuff today. I know why it is, and it's not a good look, but it's okay. And then when we're within one of these, first of all, it's, we need this kind of Command K console, more or less, where I can jump around, and that's already hugely beneficial. So really excited about that one. That's going to make it really easy. One of the main concepts I have here is I never actually want to take my hands off the keyboard. We've got some work to do to actually get there, but we're making good progress. And then you can switch into these different modes, but you're still in the context here. So while we're running with the agent mode here, I can jump over to the editor and I can actually see, this is basically what it'd be like to pull up VS Code, for example. I can see the active changes in the project, and I can open up terminal sessions, and I'm all still here within the context of this particular project. And that feels really powerful. It feels really, really good to me. And it's going to take a lot of work to really polish this thing up and make it feel like something that I can take anywhere, I can get other folks to use. But like I said, you're seeing such an early version of it, and it's already kind of amazing what has come together. And I've got a lot of other projects out there that I am excited to share with you. So subscribe to this channel and keep an eye out. There's many more updates coming with Studio 29 and all of the other related products in the ecosystem. That is the way that I am working today. I'm Sean C. Davis. I appreciate you all watching. See you next time.